And we're back. Boy, that took a long time. Where have we been all this time? We've been taking all this time to bring you and prepare for question 10.
Oh, I like that.
Bring it in.
All right, question number.
We're now rolling question 10 into the studio. Here we go. Question 10's here. Hey, how you doing, 10?
Question number 10. What do you recommend the first stages of someone interested in voice acting?
Very good question and very important question. Answer. Your skills.
Yeah.
The very, very most important thing you need to be a successful voiceover person is your skills.
Yeah.
It's not your microphone. It's not fancy equipment. It's not meeting people or going online and creating a web page or accounts. All that other stuff is a part of it.
Yeah.
But all that stuff is not going to get you the jobs. It's not going to advance you in your career as a voiceover person. If you have a $10,000 microphone, but you don't know how to use your voice, that's like you're just wasting money on a $10,000 microphone. It's like having a $100 million car, and you don't know how to drive. So, why have that expensive car when you don't know how to operate it? So start out. What I always say is find out what your voice is.
Yeah.
What do you sound like? Know what you sound like at first. Like for me, because you're going to have to be able to describe to all the people you're going to work with what you sound like. So for me, I say like I'm an upbeat, higher register kind of voice, maybe a friendly guy next door.
Yeah.
Happy, as opposed to like a lower, gritty Paul Frees kind of voice. Now, something like that, I have to really try to do that. So I want stuff that's easier for me and that comes more naturally. And this is, I'm adding a little bit of it just because that's what I do. I'm a voice guy and I'm on a microphone. So I am adding a little bit to this right now, but this is pretty much my speaking voice. This is my regular register. I'm just adding a little bit of diction right now.
Yep.
But find out what your voice is, what you sound like. Then find out what you can do or what you like to do. Do you like to do silly voices? Do you like to do impressions?
Yeah.
Well, find out what you do well and continue to do those things you do well and that are easier for you to do. The stuff that's harder for you to do, keep working on those things until you get better at them. Here's a big mistake that new people make claiming to be a voice over artist.
Yeah.
Is I can do this, I can sound like this, I can sound like that, because in your mind you think you do and you want to, and you want everybody to believe that, but what comes out, maybe not so much. Now remember, we talked about if you can't emulate or sound like someone you're trying to perfectly, that's completely fine, because that person you're trying to emulate, they're already doing that job. They already got a Mickey Mouse. They already got a whoever.
Yeah.
You can use whatever, your version of that is, you can use that for something else, and you can add stuff to it to make it even a greater. You can add an accent to it. If you have a bad Mickey Mouse impression, and then you add like a Russian dialect to it, and then a lisp or some other speech impediment, or then you make them fatter, or then you give them a growl, and you add stuff to it, all that stuff goes into creating a voice. Anyway, the moral of the story here is know what you can do and what you can't do, because everybody has what they can and what they can't do. And you work with those things you can do and help open doors for you with that stuff that's easier for you to do. That stuff that's harder for you to do, keep working on that. And in your attempt to work on those things, you're going to develop other skills, and you'll find your way to do your version of those things that are hard for you to do. So work on your skills, work on diction, work on character development. If you're a lot of people that have come to me in the last, gosh, like 15 years or so now, a lot of people will say, like, I want to be an anime, or animation, cartoons. That's great. I don't want to do commercials. I don't want to do those message on hold things. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be a cartoon character. Well, you gotta get strong somehow. So it's like, I want to be the best prize fighter in the world, but I don't want to ever go to the gym and work out and learn how to, learn my skills. You want to be able to take every opportunity you have. And one opportunity might be for something, you're not so crazy about, but it's an opportunity. That opportunity will lead to another opportunity, to another opportunity, to another opportunity. So you want to be prepared to take everything on and just, again, give it your best shot. Just be prepared. Know what you can and can't do. You don't want to say, yeah, I'll take that animation voice, or I can do that for you. I guarantee I can do that for you. And you show up. And again, you think you do, but maybe not so much. So be prepared. Work, practice, and know what you can and can't do, or what you're capable of, and what you can give your version of. And what's really, really nice is if someone comes to you and says, hey, can you do this type of voice for me? You go, well, I'll give you my version of it. I'll do the best I can. Remember that? You do that, and then the person that's asking for that will, sometimes they go, oh, wow, that's better than what I had in my mind. Yeah, we want to go with what you had. That happens. And it happens more often when you're just, again, you don't say no, or I can't. You just do your best. And when you're constantly working on making your best better and better and better and better, and knowing what you're capable of, eventually you'll go on to do whatever you want, or you'll have fun doing it. Best advice for new people in the voiceover business is work on your skill. It's cliche, but this is an instrument. Your voice is your instrument. Your body, your persona, you are your instrument. And in the world of voiceover and being an actor, you are also a business, and you are the product that business creates. You're also not just the product, but you're also the president of the company, which is your business. You're the worker, you're the courier, you're the marketing person of that business. You're a whole bunch of stuff, and there's a lot of work to do. So don't walk into it blindly thinking that, I'm just, I like to do funny voices because I like playing video games, or I like animation, and that's what I'm going to do. You need to work at it. And once you get that skill down, all those other things I talked about, the business side of it, and the microphone, and all that stuff, that's all part of it. And you got to work at that stuff too. So doing funny voices and booking video games and animation doesn't happen every day, but you want to be prepared for it when it happens. And all that other side work on, like, you're working on what your room is like, your equipment, and all that that's part of it. But it doesn't mean anything unless you have the skill. Work on your skill. And that's it. Work on that skill.
All right, well, that's some good advice for me.
Thank you. Yes.
Question number 10 is done.
Bye. Question number 10. I thank you. Question number 10. I think you are my favorite so far.
All right. Um, hang on. Before we get to another question, let me just think. Um, screw it. I'll go to the next question. um,
Go on to the next question.
Question 11. What are some important key skills in voice acting? This might be similar, though.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I think skills in voice acting, again, know your limitations, and there's no problem, and it's perfectly normal to have limitations, but just know what they are. So you know how to work with them when you need to. Like for instance, like today, if I was recording a session today, I have to be aware that today I have allergies,
Yeah.
and so like they've been working behind my house,
Yeah.
and they're cutting all this grass. So my eyes right now are very puffy and very itchy.
Yeah.
So on a day like today, I would have to be aware that are my sinuses going to be clogged? Now this is a physical issue
Yeah.
that I have to work with. So I have to figure out like is am I going to have a clogged sinus? Is that going to affect my performance? So how do I work with that? Do I cancel the thing and do it? Well, no, I don't want to do that if I know how to work with the issue. So I've tested over the years. I have different remedies that I know help me, like a certain type of medicated nasal spray. I know that maybe rinsing my sinus will help me. Sometimes I have like an oral medication that I can take that helps. I know that when I do get gunked up with allergies, that I may sneeze, so I want to be prepared with like a handkerchief, or all the stuff that I know that I might need to help prepare me to do the best job I can for that gig. I might be getting like gunkiness around my mouth, so I'll have like a throat lozenge that I keep with me. We want to stay hydrated, not just because we get thirsty in the booth, but when we're recording, I like to have a room temperature bottled water with a lid on the bottle so I don't spill on all the expensive equipment. And so I bring stuff like that to a session. um there's just a lot of ways you need to prepare, and you want your sessions to go well, even if you're not recording with anybody else. If you have something that you're doing home alone and you're going to send it off to somebody, even that, you have to prepare your room so it sounds great. You got to make sure you're in physical good working condition. You got to make sure it's quiet, and that you're taking care of as much as you can. Again, it's not just one of those things that you walk into and anybody can do. There's a lot of preparation, and a lot of that preparation is not only your skills, but then we go back to the other thing we were talking about, which is the technical and the business side of it, like technique with the microphone, technique with the studio, and all the equipment that you're going to be working with, and the type of people that you're going to work with, and what their roles are in the business. So there's a lot. There is a lot, and to find out what those things are, go online and find a good vocal coach. I'm a voiceover coach. I
Oh
have
yeah.
students, but I
Okay.
have also had people coach me over the years. Every time I have a gig, every time I do a job, whether it's on microphone or on stage or on camera, there's always people there directing me, telling me how well I'm doing. Oh, that was great. Okay, can we get one more? But do it a little more like this. And you got to be directable. You
Yep.
got to be able to listen to others and take their input and apply it to whatever it is you're doing.
Yep.
A lot of new people in this business. A lot of people that have nice voices, or people that have accents from different countries, or have a very unique voice. A lot of people think that sound of their voice is enough. um, you may have a great sounding voice, but it's not going to do you a whole lot of good if you can't take direction and if you don't know how to use that voice, if you don't know how to act. So you need to learn all those things and be open-minded and accepting of all that direction and all that stuff that people are going to teach you.
Oh, yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that works.
Yes. Good.
That,
Don't let me find you doing anything other than what I just said.
okay.
Because if you do, I'll find out. And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about to anybody that's listening.
Oh, okay.
So I'll find out about it, and I'll hunt you down and make sure that you do. So there.
I'm scared now.
I love how you go. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's question 11 done. 3 more questions
Goodbye.
left.
Oh, thank God. Oh, God. 3 more.
Yeah.
Will he make it? For those listening at home, you're probably thinking to yourself, will Dave make it for 3 more questions? Let's find out.
That could have honestly.
Back to you in the studio.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We have. I mean, we have quite a while before that time, but yeah. Um. Um. Hmm. I didn't write this down, but how was it when you were working for the fire and rescue department?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing,
All right.
fantastic. It's it was just an amazing period of my life. I originally went into that field because when I was young and maybe 18 or 19 years old, when I wanted to be an actor, I knew I wanted to be an actor. I It was too unstable, and I didn't want to keep going down that road, living the rest of my life like, oh my gosh, where's that next gig going to come from? And I want something a little more stable. And so I followed my brother into emergency medicine, and ended up, I was driving an ambulance for a couple of years out and doing that type of thing. And then kept having back injuries, lifting people and lifting, furniture and stuff like that. So I ended up in communications, and I became an emergency 911 operator.
All right.
And I've been doing that for like a good 35 years.
Oh wow.
And so I have like this serious job, professional job on part of my day.
Yeah.
And that it's stable like I wanted, and a great career and great pay and all that, and helping people and all that. But then the other part of my day, I have a fun job. I have my acting jobs, and so I would get off my shift at the fire department, and then I'd go to some theater and rehearse or be in a performance, or on my days off, I'd go do whatever acting jobs I had, or do recording, a voiceover and stuff like that. So I had the two for a long time, for many, many, many years, and but it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful job. So it was. I call it like I had my serious professional job, and then the entertainment side, I have my passionate, more fun, passionate professional job. So, and they created like a nice balance for each other. So one was very, very serious and intense, and the other one can be serious and intense, but it's a lot more fun, I think, or a little more playful.
Yeah.
So they're good for each other. Now that's done. I finally reached the age and had the number of years with the city I worked with that I could retire and get a nice little a pension, that'll help me out every month as I continue to be a struggling artist like I
Yeah.
am now. So,
Yeah.
it was great. It was fantastic. And it's not for everybody. You see a lot of life and death, you see a lot of horrific things, but you do get to help out with all those sad and horrible things. And so it makes you feel good, and
Yeah.
you're helping people in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Um.
Yeah. Yeah. Do.
You just feel so sarcastic about it. It's funny.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I think if you said you saw that video of me in studio for Star Trek,
Yeah, yeah.
if, I think you'll see some of that in there too, because that's like anybody that works with me knows they're like, you're kind of weird, man. I don't know when you're serious or when you're being a jerk or when you're being funny because they all kind of cross over each other all the time. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in a goofy. I'm always in a goofy mood.
it's me. That's me every day, basically.
Keep it up.
All right. Question, might as well. Question number. Wait, no. Question. Wait, what am I looking at here? Because I think I was about to say the wrong one. Hang on.
12 is it?
Yeah. Question number 12.
12.
Was there any areas you struggled with in the beginning of your career?
Yes. Um, and it's why I went into emergency medicine, and it's that fear of there's stress. Being an actor, being a performer, there's a lot of stress because you want to be good, and you want to please your audience. You want to impress the people that you're performing for. And so what drove me crazy when I first started out, when I started going on auditions when I was a teenager, is you get all prepared for something, and then you go to an audition, and you get nervous. You get really, really scared, or at least I did. And so leading up to that audition, or if it was a performance or opening night of a show or something, I would get so nervous that it would just my heart's pumping, and my breathing would be short. I'd sweat like crazy, and it's like a horrible, horrible feeling. And then once you start going and you're performing and you kind of relax and start losing yourself in the character and the performance and you have fun, then that kind of goes away. But I hate that those nerves. And then when you audition for something, you're waiting like, oh, did I get it? Did I, are they going to call me? Are they going to, so that fear and that angst of, did I do a good job? Am I going to get the job? Or when you leave, if you audition for something, it's like going to a job interview every day. And when you're done with the interview, you're like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have said this. I should have. And going through life that way, just worried about, oh man, did I do a good job? Oh man, I should. Oh, I'm so stupid. That was just like a lot, and like I didn't want to be doing that all the time. And then I was like a teenager, and I was doing work with people that were adults, like 40, 50 years old, and they were still doing that stuff. And I'm like, wow, I don't want to spend the next 30 years of my life doing that. And so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna do something else. And that's when I went into emergency medicine. And so now, but that stuff never really goes away. But what you can do to help alleviate that stuff is, again, you just prepare yourself as best you can. And then that way, when you go into those situations, when you go into those auditions, when you go into that opening night or that performance for everybody, you know that you've done your work and you have confidence in having prepared. And as best you can, you've taken singing lessons, you've taken dance lessons, you've worked with vocal coaches and acting classes, and you've learned how to fence with a sword or tap dance or whatever you need to do, or whatever you find yourself learning how to do along the way. You have all that stuff, and you rehearse and you practice and practice and practice, and you take that to your audition, and you take that to your performances, and you still get the nerves, and you still have the feeling of like, oh, well, I hope I did well. but there's a lot more confidence in it, in preparing, and you feel a lot better and not as unsure of yourself. So again, we go back to just keep practicing and prepare yourself and know what you can and can't do. And when you get to those audition situations, you go in with confidence and you give them something that you know you're pretty good at.
All right, yeah, thank you for that. That's 12 answered, and we're close to the 30-minute mark again.
Oh yes. Oh, are we? Okay. I bet you we're going to get the next two in the next segment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's going to be like a big giant explosion at the end. So make sure everybody comes back for the final question, because
If I can figure out how to put an explosion.
it's a big grand finale that you have to come back. You've been with this for this long. You got to make it through to the very end.
Yes.
So stick with us.
Yeah. I once did a Joey Drew impression at one point just for a joke.
All right, I got to hear your Joey Drew.
Allow me to go on mute so I can warm it up.
Okay.
Yeah, my Joey is up there, but actually, I can do it properly. All right. My Joey. Hello, I'm Joey Drew. There we go. I'm Joey Drew. This is my version. It's it's a little deep and a little bit up in there. This is my Joey impression. Forgive me.
Well, I didn't get any of it because you went into criticizing yourself as soon as you started. So let's hear it. Do it.
Did you not hear it properly? Oh, wait, did you hear it or no?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'll try that again then. Take two. Well, this is my impression of Joey Drew, and it's a little high and a little deep at the same time. This is basically if Joey was a lot younger than he should be.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what I like what you did is you muted and you went into a rehearsal.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me prepare so I can give it my best shot. And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Joey, that's what I love about Joey is he's high in one part and then he's down low in another part.
Yeah. Oh, we're not long till 30 minutes now.
We almost, is it coming up?
Yeah, just about.
Should we do the countdown?
It's a 20. Well, no, it's in an. Now we'll wait, give it a bit. But if I think I'll try to figure out how to edit an explosion in the finale.
The grand finale. Come back for the grand finale. Well, there will be a gigantic explosion. If we can figure out how to do it.
Yes. If not, I'm sorry.
And disclaimer, if we can't figure out how to do it, there won't be an explosion. But it come back anyway. How's that?
Yeah, that works perfectly. Just a pencil and a tree.
This program guarantees no explosion. So whether that means if there will be one or not, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? My voice, my deep part of my voice is somewhere. I don't know what impression I'm doing for the deep part. That's right.
You gotta move your head around a little bit to get a little bit of a wobble in there.
Wobble.
Kind of make the voice placement. Don't keep it in your mouth. Feel it like the voice is coming down in your throat.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually. That just sounds like if you were in a Lego game, because back in the old days, Lego games just had grunt noises.
Yeah, and that's the way I prefer them.
Oh, okay. Do you not prefer them?
I love like the Star Wars Lego games and all those. I love those when they were just like just making noises.
Yeah.
Now, when they started talking, like I think when they got to the Avengers and Harry
It's
Potter.
30 minutes now. 30-minute mark.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.